Welcome to the Worcester County Veterans Memorial at Ocean Pines, Maryland, a place that holds very special meaning and importance to all of us. What is represented here is a tribute to all those brave men and women who have served so unselfishly and honorably in the armed forces, both in wartime and peace, ensuring our freedom throughout America. Let's take a look at how this memorial came to be. It all started in 2003, when a small group of volunteers dreamed of having a place in Worcester County that would honor all American veterans from the Revolutionary War to present-day conflicts. With generous donations from many sources, the idea began to take shape. A 5-pointed star became the logical symbol, with each point representing a specific branch of the U.S. military. It was to be a place where all could come to visit and remember those, both living and deceased, who have defended our flag and country, the protectors of our freedom, those courageous souls, our nation's veterans, heroes all. In 2005, the dream became a reality. On Memorial Day, several thousand people attended the memorial's dedication ceremony. The very first American flag to fly over the memorial originally flew just a few months earlier over the American cemetery in Normandy, France, where thousands of soldiers who defended world freedom on D-Day during World War II were laid to rest. Moving forward to the present, this is what the star component of the memorial looks like today. The star is surrounded by 5 individual walls, each containing the name, official seal, and flag of each of the service branches. Let's take a brief look at each branch. We'll begin with the Army. The Army was originally founded as the Continental Army in 1775. Think about that, almost 250 years ago. It is the oldest and largest of all the military branches. The proud Army motto of "This will defend," as seen on its flag and emblem, speaks to its soldiers' dedication and purpose. Here's Major Jake Day, the current mayor of Salisbury, Maryland, who just returned from a tour of duty in Africa with the Maryland Army National Guard. Let's hear what he has to say.
I was inspired to join the military as a young man, 17 years old, wanted to serve my community and serve my country, and I didn't. I went to college, and it was after September 11th, after college, that I actually decided I'm not going to grow into an old man without having done that part of my duty to my country. And so I decided to follow through with it as a slightly older guy. One of my most memorable experiences was flying back from a mission that I planned and executed in Kenya against our enemies, and flew back to Djibouti with my feet hanging out the back of a C-130 as we flew up the Somali coastline. And nothing will ever get that image out of my head.
Thanks, Major Day. Now moving on to the Marine Corps. The Corps was originally founded back in 1775 to provide extra support and a landing force to the Continental Navy during the American Revolution. Although both the Navy and Marine Corps are regarded as separate branches of the military, the Marine Corps is technically a part of the Navy, serving on both land and sea. Their motto, Semper Fidelis, means always faithful. It is a testament to their fiercely loyal attitude and commitment. Next, we have the Navy. The United States Navy was established just a few months after the Army. Its primary purpose is to preserve freedom of the seas. Aircraft carriers, submarines, combat ships, and destroyers are part of today's Navy. Although the Navy does not have an official motto, honor, courage, commitment are the rules by which every sailor lives. The Navy Special Force Unit is the famous SEAL teams. Local Worcester County Commander Joseph Parker, a retired U.S. Navy pilot, will share why he joined the Navy.
I love being on the water, sailing, hunting, fishing, and enjoying those activities. And it sort of dawned on me I could kind of combine all the things I love to do with a potential service career. So it was a combination of a neat way to start my career and serve my country at the same time. I grew up in a patriotic family, so service to the flag was never a challenge. So I've done several combat zone deployments. I spent 5 years total in the Middle East. I flew on the USS Vicksburg with the USS John F. Kennedy Carrier Strike Group, and that was a 2004 Operation Iraqi Freedom in the Persian Gulf.
Thanks, Commander. Next stop, the United States Air Force. The Air Force, established in 1947, is among the youngest and the second largest of the military branches. It was World War II that illustrated to the United States the importance of air power. The Air Force provides air support for the Army and Navy, holding the motto of aim high, fly, fight, win. The Air Force, with thousands of military aircraft, as well as multiple military satellites, continues to protect the United States in air and space. The final point of the memorial star is the United States Coast Guard. The Coast Guard was permanently established in 1915. During times of peace, its primary task is the enforcement of both domestic and international laws on inland and coastal waterways. In wartime, the Coast Guard can be operated as a service in the Department of the Navy. The motto, Semper Paratus, which means always ready. And how lucky are we that we have our own Coast Guard station right here in Ocean City, Maryland, always at the ready, assisting vessels in distress in our local waterways. And finally, we have Space Force. Though not yet represented at the memorial, it's the newest branch of the military. Its motto, Semper Supra, always above, pays homage to its roots in the U.S. Air Force, as well as our country's future in space. Now let's look closer to home. Maryland is a pretty impressive state. Maryland was one of the 13 original colonies and has helped shape America into what it is today. Annapolis, our state capital, once served as the temporary capital of the United States. The national anthem was written by Marylander Francis Scott Key during the British attack on Fort McHenry in the War of 1812. During the same war, Stephen Decatur, a native of the eastern shore of Maryland, served as a heroic naval commander to defeat the British at sea. The Berlin schools are named in his honor. Now it's time to stroll down the Patriots' Pathway, another special and integral part of the Veterans Memorial. Officially opened on November 2013, the pathway consists of interpretive panels that depict the various wars and conflicts in our country's history. First, the American Revolution. Although some fighting broke out as early as 1775, it was the adoption of the Declaration of Independence on July 4, 1776, that made it official. We were no longer just colonies. We were now the United States of America, determined to gain independence from Great Britain. The Boston Tea Party, the battles of Bunker Hill, Lexington, and Concord are some famous events to be remembered from this time. Names of some very important people came from this period too. Names you know, like George Washington, John and Abigail Adams, Thomas Jefferson, Paul Revere, Benjamin Franklin, and Alexander Hamilton, all founding fathers of our country. As a result of this war, America was independent, and our country had its very first veterans. The Civil War began in 1861, when the northern and southern states fought against each other, often brother against brother. It began after the election of Abraham Lincoln, when 11 southern states separated themselves from the United States, primarily over issues regarding slavery and states' rights. It is considered America's deadliest war. The Battle of Antietam, fought in Maryland, was the single bloodiest one-day battle in United States history. Eastern Shore native Harriet Tubman, a runaway slave, was originally from Cambridge, Maryland. She is famous for her efforts with the Underground Railroad, leading hundreds of enslaved people to freedom. World War I, also known as the Great War and the War to End All Wars, beginning in 1914 and lasted for 4 years. It was the first conflict that was fought on a worldwide scale, involving over 27 countries and millions of soldiers. Although mostly fought on the ground with artillery, it saw the introduction of technology, with such things as tanks, submarines, aircraft, machine guns, and even the telephone. As a matter of fact, Fort Meade, right here in our state of Maryland, was home to the Army Signal Corps Female Telephone Operators Unit, called the Hello Girls, which greatly improved communications on the Western Front. Then came World War II. The world was once again at peace, at least for a while. In 1939, Adolf Hitler, head of the Nazi Party in Germany, believed that Germans were a superior race and that they were born to rule the world. War broke out. Many European countries were attacked and occupied by Germany. On the other side of the world, Japan waged war with the United States. On December 7, 1941, a day that will live in infamy, the United States officially entered the war with the attack by the Japanese on Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. On August 6, 1945, the United States President Harry Truman ordered the use of the atomic bomb to be dropped over Hiroshima, Japan, the first nuclear bomb to be used in warfare. Japan surrendered. Meanwhile, Hitler's army was defeated by the Allies in Europe. The war was finally over. All those who came home were treated as heroes. As we approach the apex of the V-shaped pathway, you will see 3 flagpoles, pavers, and an empty chair, dedicated to the many brave soldiers missing in action, prisoners of war, killed in action, or wounded in action. Since World War II, more than 82,000 American soldiers are missing or unaccounted for. As we continue down the path, we come to the Vietnam War plaque. This was a painful time for America. From 1959 to 1973, it was a time of hippies and flower children, chanting for peace, love, and anti-war thinking. The war was a long and costly conflict that pitted the communist government of North Vietnam against South Vietnam and its principal ally, the United States. Many felt the United States should never have entered the war, which led to large protests. And sadly, many of our veterans came home feeling unsupported by their fellow Americans, often facing scorn. Sadder still was the fact that many of our soldiers did not return at all. The Worcester County Veterans Memorial had the honor of hosting The Wall That Heals during April of 2021. Its panels are etched with the names of over 58,000 service members who perished in the war. If you look back toward the apex of the pathway, to the right of the empty chair, you will see a retired panel from the Traveling Wall That Heals exhibit. It was gifted to our memorial site from the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund in Washington, D.C. The names of soldiers on that panel who perished during that time frame come from all 50 states, 12 from our own state of Maryland. The last plaques on Patriots' Pathway deal with our country's war on terrorism. In direct response to the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001, our country engaged in Operation Enduring Freedom and Iraqi Freedom. Our military once again proudly and bravely defended our country. They all gave some, and some gave all. Our sculpture of the battlefield cross that you see here commemorates just that. The soldier's boots, rifle, helmet, and dog tags symbolizes the honor, service, and sacrifice of all soldiers killed in battle, fallen but not forgotten. Well, friends, That takes us to the end of our little walk through the Worcester County Veterans Memorial at Ocean Pines. Each year, school students from all over Worcester County are invited to visit the memorial and learn about our nation's veterans and heroes. Classes are divided into small groups and are given a tour of the memorial by volunteers. Students will learn about the history of the American flag and to properly fold a flag. They will walk the Patriot's Pathway and gain an understanding about some of our nation's conflicts. Sometimes, we are lucky enough to have actual veterans on site to tell their stories. Maybe you have a story about a veteran you know. We'd sure like to hear it. Now we have some members of the military to share some thoughts with you.
Well, as a veteran, my message to today's youth is to, keep in mind the sacrifices of all those who have gone before to make this nation a great place to live and a great place to be free.
My message for the youth of today would be work hard, work towards your dreams, and join the Coast Guard. It's been a great avenue for myself and my family, and they treat us like family.
Contribute, participate. Service comes in so many forms. It doesn't have to be in a uniform.
Whether you choose to serve in the military or not, find a way to serve your country. Find a way to serve your community.
Be a part of your class. Be a part of your family. Be a part of the things that are important to you. Be a part of your team. And so that's the first step, is to contribute, participate, and volunteer.
You will find that you feel more enriched going through this life having given something back to the country and the community that have given something to you.
And then you might build up an entire career or a lifetime of doing unselfish things, and you'll be a better person for it.
There are many veteran memorials across this land, all of which serve to say thank you to our veterans in a lasting way. This one, we are proud to say, is ours. We hope you will pay us a visit soon to this very special place.
You were searching for my name today. I saw you standing there. Man, you look different with that silver in your hair. Me, I haven't aged a bit, still all of 21. That's the thing about us spirits, we're forever young at the wall. Here at the wall, we were proud to serve our country when called by Uncle Sam. Then more than a little anxious, then they shipped us off to Nam. Remember all the heat and bugs, days marching through the mud, constant gunfire, smell of death, sight of all that blood. Some gave all. Names carved in this wall, but it's a wall of love, a wall that heals, a wall that touches, helps you feel the faces of more than 50,000 names. Feel the wall, be forever